If you need more coping mechanisms than drinking 8 cups of tea in a day, and also maybe 3, 4, 5 cups of coffee, which then makes you even more anxious because of the caffeine intake, then maybe we should carry on watching. Hi guys, I'm Isabella Crowther. If you have anxiety like myself, this weird time can be even more struggling than usual. This time can be even more difficult than usual. It can be deeply, deeply tough. So if you're like me and you're from Britain and you've used up your free 6 NHS therapy sessions and can't afford real therapy, or you're from somewhere else in the world where you have to pay for therapy and you can't pay for it because you can't afford it, like myself, then these might be helpful. I am not a therapist, disclaimer, but these are what have helped me. So, first one, deciding to do tiny, tiny tasks and breaking them down in your head. So if you can't get out of bed, I would suggest, instead of being slumped over looking at your phone and you haven't moved for 2 hours from morning when you woke up, just go, right, I'm gonna sit up. I'm gonna sit up properly in my bed. Okay, and then you sit up. And because you're sat up in bed, you go, right, what's the next tiny, 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 tiny thing I can do? Well, I could just push my duvet off of myself. Is that something I could do? Is that tiny action something that I could do? Probably. Right, what else can I do? Now I've pushed the duvet off myself. I can wiggle my toes. Wiggle my toes. Oh, well, that's the next thing. Right, I'm going to swing my... and so on and on. What do I do next? Literally, step by step, tiniest thing at a time. And that has helped me an awful lot. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here sitting, filming this video for you if I hadn't have done that. I used that today to get dressed and to do something. I was like, right, I'm going to get up. I'm going to do something, and this is what I decided to do today. The next thing you can do is journal. I do some morning pages. Morning pages are from this book called, hang on, I'll go get it. From this book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And it's an excellent read, it's really, really good, but don't worry, if you can't afford to buy it, I will just tell you the bit that really, really helps me, and that is a tiny thing that you can do every morning. So in the morning, I write 6 pages in my A5 of, or if you have A4 pages, you write 3 pages of just conscious stream of thought, literally anything that comes to your head. You what's in your head, you just blurt it out. And I find that the conscious stream of thought really helps because it allows me to focus what I'm thinking about onto a page, and then I can see it from a great distance afterwards. And I find that if I'm writing consistently every morning, then I can see what is a problem for me on a daily basis. And the more I write about it, things that I'm not even aware of that I'm dealing with come up onto the page, and it comes up every single day. And then I go, right, that's something I need to sort out. That's something I need to think about and move past, and put action plans in actions in order to benefit myself. And they're very, very helpful. And it takes all the nattering and the horrid buzzing of like bees in your head and just puts it on the page, and you can just capture it for a bit. Another thing you can do if you feel anxious is meditate, and I find it very, very, very useful. I know many other people find it really useful, and I would highly recommend type in guided meditation 2 minutes, guided meditation 5 minutes, and start off small and build it up. You're just viewing your thoughts. You're not having to silence yourself, your internal dialogue. You're just sitting with yourself, which can be really scary, but it also can be very, very beneficial. And it's one of those things that everyone says you have to do, like all of those gurus. And then once you've meditated for 5 minutes, you can ramble on about how great at meditation you are and how nauseating it's going to be for everyone else to listen to you. And you can tick it off your to-do list. Win-win. You look excellent. And then there's this one. 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. And that is the way I choose to do it. Really useful. Very, very useful. Consider subscribing, because I will be doing more videos like this. I will be doing creative stuff. And if you like this, just subscribe. Don't forget to ding that notification button. No one's going to subscribe now.